Hello, everyone again. Thank you for being here today for an exciting webinar called AI-driven lesson planning. When there's a will, there's a way. I'm Han Nguyen, and I'm truly honored to be your host for this event. Before we dive into AI-driven lesson planning, let's give a big thank you to the people who made this possible, which is ProEd Education Solutions and EduVerse. Let me quickly introduce these groups to you in case you haven't heard of them. So ProEd Education Solution is a boutique educational consultancy offering services for schools that need professional enhancers. With over 20 years of experience in the education sector in Vietnam and region, ProEd expertise gives our clients the edge in the market. EduVerse, an initiative powered by ProEd Education Solution, here, if you have seen this before, has a core mission of offering educators free learning opportunities and resources. This initiative is steadfast empowering professional growth within the teaching community. They do it in the following ways. They have EduVerse newsletter. Every month, they will share a free, insightful newsletters on their website, Facebook, and LinkedIn. The newsletter talks about new trends in education and innovating teaching methodology. The next one comes out on September the 1st, so be sure to mark your calendars for it. EduVerse PD webinars is another sector of EduVerse. Every 2 months, they put on free live webinars for teachers where they can learn and grow. And today's event is the very first one, and you are part of it. We thank you for that. Now let's just focus on our main topic today. AI-driven lesson planning. When there's a will, there's a way. How AI can help teachers plan the lessons better. Guiding us today is Dr. Quoc Lê, an educator with over 2 decades of experience in English language teaching. Dr. Quoc is the founder of ProEd Education Solutions and the driving force behind EduVerse. He is the author of The Art and Science of ChatGPT in Education, a book that talks about using technology to make teaching and learning better. And I'm the luckiest one of the luckiest to have one, version of this book. But wait, there's something even more. After the webinar, we'll ask you to take a short survey. If you do, you get a certificate saying you took part in this learning experience. And guess what? Some of you might get a very special surprise for finishing the survey. It's our way of saying thanks to you. So let's not waste time. Get ready to enjoy the webinar. Feel free to ask questions in the Q&A section. If you can see the Q&A section and learn all that you can about education and using AI for lesson planning, you might find the answers to your question towards the end of the presentation. Thank you for that and have a great time during the webinar. Now I will give the stage back to my dear big brother over there, Dr. Quoc, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Han. Can you hear me well? Yeah, hello everyone. Yes, please check if you can hear me well. You can say yes or tap 1 in the chat box. Okay. And I see a lot of yeses here. So thank you again for spending your weekend time here with us. With a short webinar. I hope it's short, right? It's probably 1 hour. So our session today is about AI, which is, a very big trend recently, right? Nearly more than half a year now. Okay, let me take some time to share the screen with you. All right. Yeah. So our topic today is about AI, and specifically it will go with how we can plan our lessons with AI, right? According to our survey, recently on ProEd LinkedIn, one of the we say the pain points of teachers is planning a lesson, which takes a lot of time and energies and things like that. So we will have some time looking at the AI. Hopefully, we can find some ways to do this more effectively. All right. So the session today, quickly we will talk about what AI is, and then we'll go to the main part, lesson planning with AI, plus some useful tools and demos. I can do it right away here. Hopefully, there's no problem with the technology. Then we will go with the considerations. We can use AI and it can help us effectively, but there must be some considerations that we should look at. And the last part will be kind of a conclusion. What should we do? And the Q&A, right? Okay. First of all, I'd like to share with you this movie poster. I think you know this movie, right? Tap yes in the chat box if you already watched this movie. I think it's about like 20 years ago. Yeah, exactly 20 years ago in 2003. I remember the time I watched that in the movie theater. Okay. Anyone watch this movie? I, Robot. Yeah, I see some answers here. Yeah, not yet. And yes, right? This will make look young, of course, because it's 20 years ago. All right. I remember the time when I watched this movie 20 years ago. I was, part of excited about the technology, part of scared about that, right? Because technology can do a lot of things. And now we can see it very clearly, especially in educations, right? Education seems to be the aspect or the field with, the least affected by technology compared with other aspects. However, we look at that, we are in education, and we see that still the technology has a huge impact on education, right? So this movie, the robot, or we may say the AI, becomes kind of like lived with us, lived with people, but then they become a kind of force that we need to be careful when working with or when living with. All right, quickly, what is AI, everyone? Okay, can you put on the chat box what you think AI is? Your own definition. Don't just Google it and paste it, right? Your own definition. What do you think AI is? I'll give you a few minutes. Okay. Waiting for your answers. What do you think AI is? Okay, is it AI something? Technology, right? Your own supporting materials. Thank you. There's a request from the participants that they do not see each other message. And can you help with this? There's an answer from Mr. Cheng, right? Computer programs that perform human tasks. Very good. AI, who or whom? Yeah, human assistant. Intelligent by machines, right? In Kaiser Technology support from EduVerse. Okay, thank you, Mr. Yi. Let's see the answer. Very quick answer and very easy to understand answer. I try to get the easiest definition for all of us. So AI is a wide-ranging branch of computer science concerned with building smart machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. So you can see that, in short, AI is something that can do things that usually require human cognitive functions to do. For example, translating or playing games or navigating, things like that. So we can see that AI was invented long ago, about more than half a century, right, by John McCarthy. And we've been using AI every day so far. We have Siri, we have ChatGPT, we have self-driving cars, right? We have even something we use a lot, Google Search and Google Maps. And even when you look at when you watch Netflix, and have you ever wondered how or why Netflix can recommend something you really like, even though they do not know you a lot, right? So those all the things are AI. And now look at this disk. We say disk. This is I think about 160 AI tools that have been blooming so far. That's a big number, right? But that's not all. And every day when you open your laptops, go to LinkedIn, go to Facebook, you will see more AI tools, AI app like this. Sometimes I feel scared. Actually, I feel scared when I surf the web every day. I see, wow, too many AIs. How can we know all of them, and how can we use all of them for what? But this is a trend, and in the future, I believe that there are more and more AIs tools and apps that have not only education but also other fields too. The question here is: do we need to know all about them, or we need to know a few, right? Yeah, some of us feel surprised about these AI tool, but as I said, there are much more than this. Maybe we have 2 more this, 3 more this, or 5 more this in the future. Okay, so that's something briefly about AI. Now let's go to the main part. Lesson planning with AI. Okay. Now I'd like to ask you in the chat box the first question about lesson planning. As I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this talk, we have some survey, and we got the answers from teachers that they think that what kind of a lot of pain points, right? What take more a lot of times and energies for them when they prepare the lesson and when they prepare the for the classroom. And the answer is lesson planning. Now the question that I'd like you to I'd like you to answer and put in the chat box is: when you plan the lessons, what is your challenges, or what are your challenges, right? For example, time, for example, resources, or even money. Sometimes I know that some teachers spend some money to prepare a very good lesson plan for their classroom. Okay, can you put it in the chat box, please? What are your challenges when you do the lesson planning, or when you plan the lesson? Yeah, we have to say time constraints, time shortage. I'd like to understand more here. When we say time shortage, that is not enough time for the lesson, or not enough time for planning the lessons. Engaging activity for students, ideas. Ideas. I always want to use new activities for my class. Yep. Limited resources. Yeah, thank you. You both, right? Time, not enough time to do it, and not enough time for the good for a long lesson. Resources, time, right? Teachers are quite busy and do not have much time planning the lesson. All right, so we see here most of the answer here is time and resources. Right. Let's see. Thank you for the answer. We still have some more here. Student not interested and not participating in the activities. So the activity is not engaging, not interesting enough for the students. All right, time again. All right, thank you for the answers. Let's have a look at the statistics that ProEd already had in a survey recently. I hope you are not like this, right? But a lot of teachers will be like this. Okay. Here, when we look at this chart, we can see that time consuming. I mean, the thing that lesson planning is time consuming, like time constraint, things like that. Is the biggest bubble here, the biggest circle here, and then lack of ideas. Here, lack of ideas and activities. it seems that teachers may not have enough time to think about new activities, or even they do not have some updated activity for their students. And then lack of resources. Lack of resources and differentiation and personalization in the lesson. So this is I think a very difficult questions to answer, right? Because most of the classes we have many students with many different learning styles, many different levels of English. And for public school, that can be like 40 or more than 40 students. How can we differentiate our lesson plan for all of them? Hopefully we can find some answer with the help of AI, right? We also have some other things like some teaching steps, materials, or time allotted for the answer. So those are some challenges that the teachers have. I think all of us here, when you put the answer in the chat box, we have the same answer, right? The same challenges. So can AI help us with that? And I can confirm with you that AI can address all these challenges, right? What AI can do? They can help, or AI can help create lesson plans from nothing. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Then create lesson plans from textbook. So for some situation, you will be teaching a class without a textbook, and you will teach them from scratch. That's how AI can help you. In other situation, we have a textbook and we have to teach with the textbook, with the topic, with the theme and contents, but create a lesson plan for that is also a challenge. So AI can help you too. They can suggest teaching steps for you. They know a lot about PPP, about 5Es, about different kinds of lesson planning and things like that. So they can suggest ideas, activities, and games to help you design the games. They can help you create a media like image, like PowerPoint, like text, or flashcards that you can use with the lesson plan, right? And they can help you with the videos too, right? Of course, for some apps, some kind of AI, we have to pay. Oh, by the way, so this workshop or this webinar, I will suggest some ways we can use with AI free, right? And they can also help you to create quiz and processes for your lessons. So if they can do all these things, so I think the biggest challenge when we plan the lesson is time consuming, right? And lack of resources or lack of activities will be released, or at least will be reduced, right? Okay, very quickly, we will go to each of the things here to see how AI can help us, right? I will introduce some tools too. But before that, let's see again the toolbox, right? If we want to do something good, we will have a toolbox, right? And the toolbox that I mentioned earlier, there are more than 160 AI apps in this box, in this disk. I don't think any of us can put on the apps here in our toolbox, right? So the answer here is, the problem here is, which one do we use? Look at this, because today we focus on lesson planning in the EduVerse. I mean, yeah, in the EduVerse, right? There are many apps, AI apps or AI websites to help you to create lesson plans automatically, like lesson plans.ai, like Skimly, like Copilot, and many more if you put a phrase in the Google search. I did not mention a lot here. It depends on what kind of apps, what kind of tool we want to use. I And on the right here, there are many more, some more, which is not focusing on the lesson planning only. They can do many more things that help you to plan your lesson or to create a lesson plan, like ChatGPT, which is like a hot name, right? Recently, like Canva. I think many of you use Canva, like Dolly or Firefly. Dolly and Firefly, something that help you to create images. Mentimeter, we know that, right? Genuinely is a very good app you can use to create a kind of interactive presentation. And also, if you ask me which app I usually use, so this is my toolbox, right? My toolbox. Actually, I don't use lessonplans.ai. I don't use AI to create lesson plans with an app like that, but I use all these things. These are the things that we use a lot. I've used ChatGPT, Canva, Donley, things like that. So I like to emphasize that we don't need to be worried about all the AI apps that blooming or that created every day. What we want to have is a some kind of apps that we can use effectively, easily, and help us with our work. Of course, we will have to get updated about all the new one so that we can use if necessary. But don't worry that and don't need to use everything for our work. All right, let's look at this. We go to the first one, everyone. Create a lesson plans from scratch. How ChatGPT can help us, right? Now I have to stop share a little bit and move to another window. Hopefully, I can get back easily with this one. All right, I'm going to do some demos on how you can create lesson plans on lessonplans.ai, an app focusing on lesson plans only, and then with ChatGPT, right? The things you see on the screen, the screenshots you see on the screen here is actually what I already did earlier. But now I'd like to do it with you here. Hopefully it worked. Sorry, I will stop share a little bit and move to another window. Give me a second. Okay, everyone see my screen, right? Yeah, please say yes or something. See my new screen. All right. This is lessonplans.ai, right? What they can help you is like this. Put your input here. For example, grade level, you want to teach a third grade level subject, foreign language, English, yeah, or anything. Then lesson title. For example, my example is lesson plan on the simple present tense, talking about habit. Lesson description, put some description there, how the simple present tense is used for habit description. Make the lesson in the format of PPP. And then you click generate, right? I already did it to make sure that it works during the webinar. So I did it earlier, actually this morning. So you can see here. The topic here, the objective outcomes. So lesson plan AI created the objective and outcomes for you too, right? So we'll be able to describe using simple present tense. And the materials, you need some material like flashcard, like a timer or a watch, pencil or paper for each student. And then they go to the main stages like warm up, do this, instruction, do this, guided practice, like we say we usually use this control practice, right? And then independent practice, free practice, closure activity, assessment. Right. There's a question. Is it a free app? Yes, it's free. At least what I'm using is free, right? There's another one. Actually, there's another one with free app. That is ChatGPT, right? I'm going to show you ChatGPT, how ChatGPT can do it. Stop share. Now share again. Share again. Okay. Right. This is ChatGPT. I'm going to do it right now. We want a lesson plan, right? For example, help me with a lesson plan to teach the simple present tense, talking about habits for like fourth grader, right? Fourth graders with English level of maybe A2. Yep, A2. Use the format, the lesson plan format of 5E. Over there we use PPP, now we use 5Es. Let's see what it can do. You still see my screen, right?
Yes, and we can still screen.
Yeah, and see the screen is running. See the AI is working. Okay, so you can see that with a very simple prompt like this, it will go this way. So it can help you with the lesson planning, fourth grader language level A2, and because we asked them to do it in a 5A format, 5Es format, right? So the 5Es start with the engage stage, the aim of this stage, what to do, 1, 2, 3. Then go to the explore stage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you go like this, right? And even if you want to have more tasks or in detailed steps, you can still ask them to do. For example, the next thing I asked ChatGPT to do is put the lesson plan in a table format, please. Let's see. Yeah, it put everything in a format like this, right? And if you want any other columns, ask them to do. Add one more column for time. Okay, like this. So you can see, and then you can copy this table and put it in a Word document or something like that, right? And of course, you have to look at this, read that, and change and modify to make sure that it can help you to teach your student, right? So this is something that we create a lesson plan from scratch. There's another thing we can do with this one. If we, for example, if you serve YouTube, right, and you see a video and you want to teach your student with that video, so ChatGPT can help you too, right? Let me have a look at that. Sorry, I did it earlier to save time here. So This is my questions for ChatGPT, right? Can you create a 5-year lesson plan for grade 8 student learning English in this with this video script? The objective: learn about saving water, some vocabulary about the topic, and one main grammar point. The student's English level is B1, and I put the link and also the transcript. Right, the transcript is like this. This is about a two minutes video. Somebody will ask about the transcript, right? How can we get a transcript from the YouTube video? Actually, this is a plugins of ChatGPT. When you install that plugin into your Chrome, and let's see about the plugins called Digest YouTube or YouTube Digest. You can go with you can search it on Google, and then when you do that, when you after you install the plugin, right? When you go to YouTube, let me see if I can do it right here for you. Okay, so here you can see this one, right? After you install the plugin, you will see something transcript and summary here on a YouTube site like this. And when you click that, it will go like this. So this is the script of this video, right? And then you just copy that. And this is also a function of ChatGPT. However, you need to install a plugin. And when you can copy this script and put it here, and then ask the ChatGPT to create a lesson plan for you. Okay, and here is the answer. Water conservation and vocabulary, objective 1, like this, objective 2, like this, right? And objective 3. So there are 3 objectives because I asked them to do 3 things. The first one is about learning about saving water. Second one, some vocabulary, and then the grammar point, present simple tense for habits and facts. Lesson plan warm up, introduction to the video, watch a video, discuss, and things like that. And again, I asked them to put it in a table, and here the table. So with ChatGPT and lessonplan.ai, you can create lesson plan right from scratch. Okay, so, I will get back to my screen, to my presentation. Okay, presentation. I use it. I made this presentation on Canva, right? And with Canva, you can do a lot of things. But the okay, like this. Something not good about presentation on Canva, that is there's not animation, not a lot of animation. Okay, so create lesson plans from the textbooks will be the same. What you can do here in the textbook is, oh, sorry, we have already here, right? Sorry. Oh, yep, this is the example of a lesson plan created by ChatGPT, and it is I took this one from my book. Right? When you create a lesson plans from textbook, there's some steps you need to follow because we use textbook. That means we have to use the contents, right, and the activities there. We can change the activities sometime, but we need to use the contents. So first of all, you need to identify the key themes and topics of the textbook. I mean, of the content of the lesson in the textbook. Then we ask ChatGPT to generate some ideas for activities aligning with the theme and topics. For example, you can put in a reading text from a textbook and ask them to create some activities for you, aligning with the topics and the themes you explore in step 1. Then we adapt and adapt the generated content, sequence the activity logically, because sometimes ChatGPT can create some sequence that you don't think is good for your students, because ChatGPT does not know your student, only you know your student, right? And you need to change, modify a little bit, and then refine and revise the lesson plan when or after teaching. This is something we can do with the textbook. Actually, the principle will be the same. The principle will be the same when you ask ChatGPT or lessonplan.ai to create your lesson plan. They will do it, but you need to have a very close look at the product, right? So that we can change and modify. What else? Suggest teaching steps. Yeah. When we organize this workshop or this webinar, I have a questions in the registration form that's asking the teachers about their challenge. I got a few answers, which was said that they feel difficult when deciding the teaching steps. I believe that the stages are okay, right? All of us know the stages. Like PPP, we have 3 stages, but sometimes, yeah, there's some difficulty when we try to arrange the steps to make it logical and suitable for our students. Let's see what these tools can have too, right? So as I just demoed for you, you will see that they make the step very clear, stages and steps very clear for us. So they already suggest a step, the teaching step for us. And what we need to do is read and rearrange if we want to do it. So we will quick with this, then we'll go to this one. Okay, suggest teaching activity and games. Yeah, many teachers, they usually have kind of a pool of games activities, right? And after using them for a while, the students may get bored because they already know the game. That is how ChatGPT and other lesson plans apps can help. For example, you look at the screen, you can see I asked ChatGPT to suggest a game for my 4th graders to play with the following exercise. So this exercise I took from a textbook. So the textbooks, like the exercise workbook, for example, like this. And if you ask the student to read, complete the sentences, and then you go and check, so that may sound boring for your student, right? So what ChatGPT can do? Yeah, sure, a fun and engaging game for your students to practice complete sentences is verb form scramble, and here's how you can organize the game. For example, so they give you the objective, they give you the materials, and they give you instruction too, right? I think I'd like to show you the rest of the answer. Yeah, right. Yeah, so they give you the answer for this game: instruction, preparation, introduction, gameplay, how to play the game, scoring, winning, who will be the winners, something like that. And if you don't like this, go regenerate. It will suggest another game. Verb filling bingo. Okay, materials needed, instructions before the games, after the game, and even they give you the example of the bingo card. Things like this. And if you like this game, better or worse, right? Help them, because actually we are using ChatGPT. Actually, ChatGPT is learning from us, from our language. See, they can give you a games like this and something. This is for ourselves, right? I feel bored. Let's play 20 question. Game. Go. Of course, I'm happy to play 20 question game with you. Please think of an object. I'll start by asking yes or no question to guess what it is. Remember, you can only say yes or no, or I don't know. Let's begin. The object you're thinking of something that is commonly found indoors. Yes or no? Yes. Great. The object you're thinking smaller than a bread box? No. Does the object you're thinking of serve a specific functional purpose? No. Oh, yes, sorry. Is the object you think of something that people use on daily basis? Yes, I'm thinking of the best. All right. So if you are bored, you can do this, and even you can do it in class with your students, right? If you have a computer with ChatGPT. All right. So with that, we can see that the ChatGPT can help us with games and activities, right? And for some plugins, again, you need to install the plugins in your computer. The plugins can play as a role of a person of ChatGPT. That means that student will say something and ChatGPT will answer by speaking back to the student. So then we can help them learn and practice speaking and listening, things like that. Now that's the activity in games, right? Create media. There are many kind of media, right? We need to create. When we plan the lesson, usually we need media to make the lessons more interesting for our students, right? And the app that we can usually do is Donly or Firefly to help create pictures. Of course, if we need a simple picture like an apple or a pen, it's easy to find on the internet. But for some cases, when for example, we want to have a scenes in the story, so the student can imagine easily. So it's difficult. For example, help me draw a story scenes where a girl is trying to stop two dogs fighting on a stormy day. Let's see what they can do. So this is a picture, a photo or image created by Donley with that prompt, right? So you see, you can never find this image on the internet, right? And in the past, at my time, if I want to do this one, I need to hire some kind of artist to draw this for me. Now, we can do it free, right? Donly is free. If you use Microsoft Edge, it is installed, pre-installed there for you, and you can do it free. For Adobe Firefly, it's also free. It's in the beta beta duration or something like that, so we can use it free. You want to look at that? Okay, here, Canlot. All right, Canlot. Now look, this is beta Adobe, sorry, this is not beta, Adobe Firefly beta version. For beta, that means free, right? We can use it until it charges. Here you can see I put a prompt. A girl is walking from home from the forest on a rainy day. She's holding a bouquet of flowers for her mom. The tone is bright with sunlight in the rain. And it created these 4 photos for me. And you can change it to art like this, more like cartoon, right? Like hot trend now on Facebook, or graphics like this. Yeah, sometimes you have to wait for the internet. Yeah, right. So graphic, art, photos, or nothing. And if you don't want this, they can create a set of 4 more photos or image for you. And this is free until now. Right? And with Adobe, we can also do something else. Right? Here's some kind of inspiration for us. So this are the image you want to generate. Later you can also do the here, for example. Now we can do remove background or change the front route like this, or change the clothes like this. Here, schedule image in exploration. That means they are developing it, right? 3D to image in here, something explore. So we can do a lot of things with this. The good thing is free right now, right? Okay. That is about image. How about PowerPoint? On Canva, now you can describe your presentation, the presentation you want, and it will make a presentation for you in seconds. For example, I want to make a presentation, right, about simple present tense, talk about habits for student, and with example. Let's see. And this is our first screen, our first slide. Sorry, I will see where it is. Okay, it's right here. Give me a second. To save time, I already created that earlier so that we can have here. So you can see this is Canva, and this is a pro functions. That means this is not free. Actually, you need to. Oh, by the way, sorry, it's the beta version too. So you can still use it with a free version. Here, so you see, I'll ask them to make a presentation like that, and to see what they can do for me. With the examples, right? Let's see what is presentable term. This is an example. Habits. Example of habits in simple present tense. And then we also have the practice exercise and things like that. Very quick. Of course, you have to modify. You have to change it a little bit, but at least you don't need to create a presentation from scratch, right? Very simple here. Thing we can do, for example, now I like to make a presentation of Paris, maybe Paris. What else? Weather, people, anything else? Interesting places. Food, yeah. Thanks. And we can have a description of about 100 characters. Press enter so that it can present a presentation for you. Yeah. Okay. Paris, a love affair. They can give you like this. Maybe we choose this one. And it has a review for you too. Right? Here. Okay. And create my presentation. So what we can do with this is an activity we can do in class, right? Teach our students to do this, and they can do it. So this technology is improving. Please report. That means that is still a functions that is in the development stage, right? Oh, where is it? Let me find where it is. It is here, still there. Yep, here, right? Like this. All the pictures, all the photos there. If you don't want the photos, remove the photo, replace the photos. If you want to change the text, change the text, right? Yeah. So that's about PowerPoint. And also with flashcards, for this one, we can even create flashcards for our lesson, right? For example, here I like to, yeah, you can go to Canva homepage. top flashcard, right? And then here, we talk about habits, right? So daily habits. And then you will see all the flashcards already here for you. You can print out, or you can use them for other tech tools like workwall.net or Bamboozle or things like that. You can use this one easy, already there for you very quickly. Get back to this one, right? Yeah, see the habits like, oh, I already did this one. Now, the last one, our last kind of media I'd like to mention today is text, right? For example, I want a short text about Ho Chi Minh City, about 100 words for my grade 4 student, English level A2, and learn city description vocabulary. Okay, and they say what they can help. If you think this is too difficult for your A2 student, ask them or ask ChatGPT to reduce the difficulty, right? And it will do it for you. Very helpful for you when you want to create a game or a lesson or a kind of exercises, or if you want, for example, you want to do a running dictation in class and you don't have the text, ask them to do it for you, right? And the last thing, create quizzes or practices. What you can see, what you are seeing on the screen, that is a worksheet for a class, right? Created by ChatGPT. The format is not this beautiful from ChatGPT. However, all the contents and the contents and all you see the spaces and things like that, that is done by ChatGPT. We just need to copy and put it in the Word, right? For example, I will do this one for you. You can see here, I use the text that I created by ChatGPT earlier about Ho Chi Minh City, ask them to create some exercises, and that's what they can do. And even they can give you the answer key. Hopefully you have enough time. Oh, right. So you can, we don't have enough time to, but I think it's important here. I would like to share it with you a little bit. This one, sorry. ChatGPT, okay, this one. Because it is kind of easy and very helpful, so I'd like to share it with you. Okay, for example, you can see here, this is the text that I created, right? Can you create a short worksheet for students to practice the vocabulary using the above test? Here, match the words with their meanings. Again, if you see it is too difficult, ask them to make it easier for your student. Then fill in the blank with the words from the list. Yeah, and bonus question too. It has bonus too. Answer key. All right, create a complete worksheet. So it will do things like that for you, student information, name, date, and of course you just need to put it in your Word and then reformat that. All right, I think the demonstration takes a lot of time, so we can go. But anyway, we finished with the main part. So something that AI can help, right? So in short, it can help us save time, it can help us save energy, it give us full of ideas and activities, it's full of resources. So the thing is, if you have a will, it will have a way, right? That's why I name my webinar today is this one. If you have a will, it has a way, right? But some considerations. What the first thing is, like this. First of all, AI is not human, right? It's a machine, and it is trying to do things that we are teaching them to do, right? So human touch is very, very important. Maintain personal emotion in your teaching too, right? Many teachers, if they like kind of overuse AI, the lesson will lack emotions. We don't have enough time to dig deeper about this topic, but I have some articles on EduVerse newsletter about this one. Over rely on AI, don't do that, right? Guide and teach your AI, evaluate AI responses and suggestion. Very important that we need to evaluate their responses, because their responses are not always true, are not always right? We will have to decide which one is right, which one is wrong. Balance your lesson planning skills using AI selectively with different lesson planning skill and strategy. Don't just use AI for lesson planning all the time, right? And going beyond decorative tools. That means that we need to evaluate our use of AI in our work, right? We use them not only just to make it more fancy or to make it beautiful in class, but we need to look at if it is effective or not. So remember, there is no one size fits all. Don't believe or don't think when you ask ChatGPT to create the lessons for you, you bring that lesson plan and teach your class. I can confirm with you that you'll be 100% fail, right, to do that. So there is no one size fits all, right? Remember that. Then what should we do? We go to the last part, everyone. What should we do? There's something that teachers we should do. First, embrace AI as an aid, not a threat. I mentioned earlier in the in this webinar, some feel threatened, some feel scared, and a few teachers asked me if AI will replace our job. Right? If we believe AI will replace our job, it will replace our job sometime. If we don't believe it, we will do this way. We embrace it as an aid, right? Actually, it's just a tool, and our job is learning how to use the tool effectively, not being scared of the tool, right? And the second thing, the second thing, adopt a growth mindset. So as AI continue to advance, teachers should stay informed and learn about the latest AI techs and their potential application in the classroom. Yeah, I mentioned that we don't need to learn, we need to use every tech tools, every AI app every day. However, we have a toolbox, right? We need to update that toolbox so that the tool we use is the best thing and the most effective way, the most effective things for you to use. And collaborate with AI. Okay, teachers should collaborate with and utilize AI to improve teaching efficiency. And of course, with this webinar, that is improve your lesson planning skill. All right, this is kind of my last sentence. With this, if you have a will, I have a way, right? Look at him, your assistant, right? Remember, your assistant, not your enemy. Okay. I think that's all for our webinar today. If you want to know more, or if you want to learn more about how ChatGPT can help you, I have a book. Actually, this is published about like 3 or 4 months ago after ChatGPT is released. And of course, somebody asked me if it is help. It was helped by ChatGPT to complete this book so fast. The answer is yes, right? We have a tool. We need to use a tool. And then if you like we introduced earlier, ProEd has EduVerse newsletter, and here this is free. You can download that, and there's a lot of article about trending about the trends in education, of course, with AI and ChatGPT too.
Thank you, Dr. Wook, very much for your informative presentation today. Well, to be honest, I'm not very new to some of those AI tools that you've shared, but to use them up to the level of you presenting today, I think it's a long way for me to learn as well. Again, thank you, everyone. We really hope to see you all in the next webinar. Have a good afternoon. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your time. Thank you.